All right, welcome back to Crazy Scooters. Anyways, yeah, I didn't get to draw yesterday, unfortunately, because it was a very busy day. I was out the entire day, and I just had a headache when I came back. So I decided to just give myself the nice little excuse that I don't need to draw because I'm better. And with that being said, I'm actually gonna be live streaming today, and I think my voice is a bit better now, so I can actually talk and not sound like a fucking idiot. Well, less of an idiot. But yeah, the fuck, where's my? Oh yeah, begging for likes and subscribes. Yeah, well, like, subscribe, join me on this journey, right? Let's all make mistakes and make lots of effort together and completely keep failing over and over until our brain learns not to fail. That type of shit. Neuroscience. Anyways, yeah, I'm not even gonna be mean today and tell you to fuck off my channel, right? Because ideally, I'd want to be slipping on your dicks while you're on my channel, right? I don't mean that in a gay way. I mean that in like a creator to audience type of way, right? From what I understand, I have to suckle on the teats of my audience in order to actually retain them. So crass language aside, let's get to drawing because I guess that's what people come here for. Okay, I have an angle that I want to establish, and I'm obviously gonna try the wheel as well, right? So this, and then it. What did I decide? That it goes out, right? Well, I guess technically, I guess I should have something like that, right? Yeah, I do say quite gay shit, don't I? So I was just thinking about it. My friends were actually joking about that yesterday. Like, wow, Viggy is such a fag. And I'm like, hey guys, let's not use that language in this day and age. Is? Come on, bro. Don't just fucking assume I am. Dumb piece of shit. But yeah, I'm actually live streaming today. I think I already said that, right? So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I already think I fucked this up a little. But I'm not trying to freehand it. I'm not trying to freehand it per se, but I do want to keep everything in mind. And obviously I don't really know how this should come about. So it's like this. And then when it juts out, right? That's what I established. It juts out. This is already wrong. Trust me, I know this is already wrong. It should have come over here. I don't know why it come out like this. It should have been something like this. Right? I'm well aware this is already pretty wrong, but... And then, again, keeping the entire box in mind is also important. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly how this is going to relate to it. Right? It's the box. And then what? What's happening here? Is it like this? Something like that? Maybe. Right. Something like that. I don't know. Right, I've already kind of fucked it up a little, but it's okay. Again, the box I have established is something like this. Right, that's like the overall box I'm trying to keep in mind, right, but on a much larger scale. And it's actually crazy. I'm actually completely unrelated, but I am gaining a lot of, not a lot, but I'm consistently gaining subscribers, which I'm very surprised by. I honestly thought people would be tired of my shtick at this point, but I guess I'm relatable, right? It's like, oh my god, he too is a fucking great person who does their best, just like I am, because that's what my audience is, right? We're all just really, really good at doing our best. So you probably feel a lot more attached to me, right? He's just like me, for real, for real. You see what I did there? I made you feel better about yourself because I spoke of you in a positive light. And you, dumbass that you are, now feel more of an attachment to me. Because you're like, wow, he's so kind. He genuinely thinks I can do it. Of course. Of course I think you can do it. Right? I'm not using you for money or fame or anything apart from that. This is also wrong. But anyways, okay. Now we have to think about this shit. Right, so whatever, that's the wheel. I fucked it up, but we gotta think about how this attaches to it all. So it's a center line, and we could just have it go up. Right, this is the box, because I don't really draw boxes from or anything from the bottom angle really, right? So this is good practice as well. See, everything is a skill. This was easier, but now I suddenly, and obviously like the other side, right, that was something that was a new skill, right? This angle and this angle. But now doing the underside is a completely different angle as well, and that's also very difficult. So that's something I have to keep in mind. So that's what I'm trying to think about right now, and the whole point of this is to make errors, right? We're all consistently trying to make really big errors. We're not aiming to make errors, but we also allow and accept any errors that come our way, right? Acceptance is key in this society, so that's what I like to preach. But I'm not a pastor, so I don't know if I can particularly preach in an effective manner. But okay, I have to visualize this as well, right? I don't know if this is accurate. Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. Visualizing this is very difficult. I know this is definitely a huge error that I'm making, huge, gigantic error. But this is how we learn, right? Because this wheel, like I mentioned earlier, is sort of the end all be all when it comes to connecting everything. So it's important to keep it in mind, right? And I have to also think about the perspective over here, right? Let's see, it's going like that. Okay, perspective. This is really difficult. I think I'm gonna keep doing this underside angle until I understand it. Honestly, just connecting this in general from the bottom is extremely difficult, right? I have to think about the perspective that I've established. I have to visualize this. Where is this going? Right, this is going, I guess. Maybe it's going this way, so we could do something like this. And then what's the box? What's the box that I've established? It's bottom over here. So shouldn't I be seeing the underside of this? That is a bit fucked, isn't it? Yeah, because this doesn't make any sense. I shouldn't be seeing the top of this. It's angled incorrectly. Right? I don't fucking know. Yeah, I have no idea. I literally have no idea how this should be. Let's try to think about it a bit harder. That's my angle, that's my angle. So should it be like this? No, that doesn't make sense either. Right? It really doesn't make sense. No, this entire thing, I thought I was doing it in this box, but clearly I'm not. This is from the bottom, but these are not linking that way. I'm gonna rest my brain and let's try again, but let's just focus on maybe drawing this from that angle. I don't know. We'll see. Let's try again, but let me rest my brain. But yes, anyways, I do say a lot of gay shit. And to be honest, homoerotic humor is my defining trait. Right? I feel as if at this point, people know me for just having a very droll, monotonous voice and saying outlandish things. Not because I want to, but because I have to. And I have to because I want to. Reusing the same joke. And people who actually have only listened to that excerpt would know what I'm talking about. But anyways. Okay. Maybe for this, just for this, it's time to do a little bit of cheating, right? And just put the box in there. Hey, professionals do this too, right? Put the box in here. And I think my mistake is I made the wheel too big. Perhaps maybe I need to just practice on making the wheel a bit smaller. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Wait, oh shit, did not mean to touch the tripod. Ugh. Okay, cool. It's so weird. I have no idea why some videos get like 200 views and then others are just at 30. It makes no sense to me. I don't even know what the common denominator is. I mean, thumbnail, title, share, whatever. But at this point, I have a standard, right? So is it just what it is? Who knows? But okay. Okay, probably something like this, right? And it's the bottom. So here we see the bottom, right? So I roughly had this right when I was imagining it. See, the thing is, this thing is helpful, but it's not like perfect or anything, right? The box. You still have to visualize everything inside that box. So now I have to imagine the center line. Didn't connect that properly, but it's okay. Right. Something like that. No, and this is, let's just say this is the wheel. No, but we have to make sure that we have to be patient is another thing, right? And I know this is a very small box and I don't know if I'm cheating per se, but we have to think about how this is attached, right? How am I attaching this? Well, to be honest, it should be something like this, right? Which then this connects to. This should be further up, like so. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, I'm starting to understand it a bit better. Right, and over here is where we have the front of this. So something like that. Right? I don't know if I should have made it a bit bigger. Probably should have. It is a bit too small right now. And then, yeah, it's way too small because it should be jutting outward. So it should be something maybe like, right? I know it's like the proportions are a bit off, but just trying to figure out how everything connects is really important, right? After this, I'm probably just gonna start practicing connecting this thing with the wheel. If I can do that, then I should be able to add this back in without any trouble, right? It is recording, correct? Okay, cool. But yeah, now we have to think like how, because this is technically you are seeing it go up. That's what we do. Like we see it go up, but then what? Like that. And then this is equally as long, so it goes down, follows the perspective. And what's happening here? Okay, something like this, right? Something like this. This is actually really small, so I'm sure a lot of things are being lost in translation. But this is more so for me to just figure out what the hell's going on when it comes to the wheel attachment. And it's probably going to make more sense once I myself start practicing this a bit more. there's one thing I really, really like that they teach at artwod. It's the mindset, which is just get good. Just get good in it, right? No, like they're really good in that sense. Okay, and then we got this thing connected like so, so it comes outward like this. And we have the bike. It's going jutting out. Something like that. Yeah, something like that, right? And then just for the sake, because it's so tiny, I'm not gonna add like well, that's basically the front, but I'm not gonna add the handlebar or anything just yet. I mean, technically, I guess I could, right? Just super basic, but I think that's off perspective. But either way, I think it makes sense, right? If I practice again, just keeping this box in mind, but just practice putting a cylinder in this box, right? It would be something like this. So actually, I have this wrong. Yeah, this is already wrong. Actually, it's not even in the. Holy shit! It's completely wrong, which is great. See, when you get something wrong, you want to feel not frustration but excitement, right? Because you're teaching your brain that hey, you got this wrong, therefore you need to pay attention to this a bit more, right? Is the neuroscience bullshit? Possibly, but would you rather feel good when you get something wrong, or would you rather feel bad when you get something wrong? That's the way I like to think about it, right? All this shit, that human says, a bunch of people who are in neuroscience, right? They talk about, oh, do this to improve your learning, do this, do that, your brain works like this, right? And it's not as if they're dogmatic about it, but they just speak about the science, and it's supposedly how it works. And the way I like to think about it is all the things they say is basically focus on the effort that you make, focus on the process, right? Take breaks here and there, allow your brain to sort of recap what it's learned, and make as many errors as possible and feel good when you make these errors. Even if there was zero neuroscience behind this, that's just a good mindset to have, to enjoy the process, to enjoy making errors, to learn from the errors, right? And yeah, just to derive happiness from essentially attempting the skill and attempting to be better at the skill over time, right? I think science aside, the mindset that it promotes, right, and the approach that it promotes is honestly worth the fucking lifetime, right? Because this is applicable to not just art but anything. But anyways, let me rest my brain. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know why my throat's still fucked. Right. I mean, yes, it was a very, very hardcore session, but for it to be this sticky, I don't know, man. But anyways, I'm going to. Well, I need to probably practice this shape a bit more, right? So let's do the orthographic view again and figure this out. So it's like this actually. It's tilted, so it's actually more like this. And then it goes, let's just make it straight just to make it easy. And then we'll make it diagonal, and then we can make it straight again. Again, just for clarity's sake, right? This can be straight. And then this thing apparently is also a bunch of diagonals, but for the sake of, maybe we can make it like that. Right, so this is a cut, but then actually no, I don't want to do that. Let's just follow the reference that this is a cut and then this is a cut, right? So if we turn that into something relatively 3D, and I'm going to assume because I know I did it before, but I'm going to assume the front is like this, right? And I'm not gonna add the little cut thing because right now there's a where like it's actually there's a what's it called, a subtraction, but we're not gonna add the subtraction because right now we want to focus on making it complex, of course, but think about the simplicity as well. So it's like a bit up, right? You see it's slanted, and then right around here it's also slanted actually. I'm so bad at fucking explaining myself, bro. Right, and that's basically what it is. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it, and I hope me stumbling through this allows those of you who see the end result, or at least the process, to also learn a bit more from it. Right? That's my hope. Is the fact is, no matter how much bullshit I speak and how much garbage I spew, there is learning. And at the very least, if you're not learning from what I'm doing, you're learning how to not draw. Right? If you can take away from my videos, I'm not gonna fucking draw like him, then that's great too, because you found your own process, which is most likely inferior, and you should feel bad. But at least it's a process, and I'm not judging. I'm hating, but I'm not judging. Right? So, ignoring this, so what is it like? We got something like something Wong, right? Something Wong, not that Wong, but relatively Wong, like that. And then we can do something like, okay, so perspective, like so, right? Oh, true, there's supposed to be like a diagonal thing. Still figuring this out. Very much so, still figuring this out. Right, that's Gucci. I don't know. Like that. Wait, but that doesn't make sense perspective-wise. What the fuck am I doing? How do I even make this make sense? Nani? That makes zero sense. What the fuck? But this looks retarded. Okay, let's keep practicing this wheel shape. I think the most important thing now is this wheel and how it connects to the body area, right? The front body, whatever you want to call it. Because that is where it sort of stems from that, right? If I can do that, I think the front wheel and the back two wheels will be a great way to position everything, to be honest. And that'll basically be my box that I can think about. But, you know, one step at a time. I'm probably going to make this the last Crazy Scooters day, right? Actually, no, or maybe I'll keep going, right? Oh, Jesus. What the fuck? Okay. I actually really like drawing these scooters, and it's only improving my perspective, so there's honestly nothing wrong with it. But I do need to find some consistency in how I want to draw this shape, because right now there's not as much consistency as I would like. See, the reference is just, it's sort of just literally just thin, right? It's just a thin line. It's kind of more like this than this, right? It doesn't really have much shape to it. But I need to think about it in my own way, which is equally as important, because we are all important and we're all valid, especially me, not you. When I say me, I'm just being kind, and I'm involving you in my inner monologue. But I really only mean me, and you don't matter. With that being said, like, subscribe, and continue to not matter. But so is it like this? Is the front view, right? Something like that. But then it sort of, what is it? Like this? Is that what it's like from the front? I don't think it's that long. Let's keep going. Let's just keep trying this out. It's an interesting shape, which I clearly need to think about. If it's something, again, if I try, because right now I'm just experimenting. I'm just trying to figure out what I want this shape to be, right? How accurate do I want it to be to the reference, you know? But if it's something like this, where, let's see, something like that, right? And then I can just, so there you go. And I guess this shape In the back here, it's gonna be something. Well, this is hollow. We know this is hollow, so really, it's kind of like okay, it's coming down in the back. I'm just gonna do a draw through. It's hollow, like that. That's what it is. It's very thin, right? That's what's going on there. Like if I were to draw it from the bottom, and I think it helps to draw it from the bottom, right? It'd be something like, okay, what type of box? Maybe something like this, right? And then right, and this over here is thin. It's hollow. That's the way I'm trying to understand it, right? Something like that, right? Again, thin, hollow. Probably not doing the best job of explaining it. Right? That's the thing. It's like when you're a beginner, you're really just trying to explain it to yourself. But let's try to visualize this again. So it's something like, which way do I want to do it? Okay, so something like this. Or maybe I should make it something like this, where it's slightly curved, and then we got the angle here, right? And that makes it easier to see that connection, like so. You know? Same thing. Right, something like that. Probably, because I think if I do that, and we're just gonna make it straight for the time being. Again, if this box over here is my perspective, then I want something like, and then it's right where and then let's see. Wait, shit, what the fuck? I lost my I completely lost the perspective there. I don't even know what the perspective there was anymore. Which is also very important to keep in mind, of course, but clearly right now I'm struggling. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Let's try that again with ghost it a little, right? Something like that. I'm trying to ghost the box, or ghost the plane at the very least, right? So we know that it's, again, if this is the box and it's going this way, then we have something like this. And again, if that's the box, that's the plane, then yeah, I guess this is how it would be. Think about the form and trying to visualize it is also important. Of course, what I'm trying to do, this is just like this basic part here. I'm just trying to understand it a bit better. Yeah, more than anything, which is good. Let me actually rest my brain. Why not? Wait, let's try that again. Let's think about the box. Let's maybe have a box like that. And then let me just... Oh, this is so fun. I fucking love working my brain like this. So something like this. Like that. Right? And then this goes back like so. And This is actually funny enough. This shape right here is really good at making making you think about the form. It's actually very funny how good it is at that, because yeah, it's insane what I have to think about while doing this. This is actually incorrect again as well, I think, because this is the bottom view, so I don't think that's what I'd be seeing. Let's try this again. So what is the shape? That is incorrect. I'm pretty sure that's incorrect. Oh, it's so difficult to think about. Let's try that again. Okay, so actually what we need is... maybe this would be better? Right? Then it's starting to look the same as all the other ones. That's incorrect. Okay, I need to draw it from the top. Clearly, I don't have a good understanding of how it looked like from the top, so I need to draw it from the top again. Okay, so it's angled out like that. And then what? Then on the box itself, it's going upward, like so. Oh, okay, okay, okay. And then we have... oh, okay, okay, yeah, it's like this. Something like that, maybe. That's not the best or the most accurate, but let's try again. So we have slightly curved along the plane, and then it is something like that, right? Where I can do something like this, and jutting out. We're gonna have it jut out. It's gonna be something like that. But then what happens after? Right, then we have this, and then this. So this is a bit more narrow, right? Something like that. This is basically the quote-unquote covering of the wheel, I believe. But again, I think I need to figure some stuff out, because that's still a bit incorrect, right? So let's keep going. This is so fun. This is so fucking fun. Okay. Let's try it again like this. There you go. And then we can have that, right? There you go. Nope, that's a bit off, right? It's not perfect, but yeah, right now I'm not trying to make it three-dimensional in the sense that I'm not adding like a projection of its plane as like a thicker form. I'm not doing this yet, because right now we still need to figure out what's going on. We still need to figure out what's going on with this shape, right? So, oh shit, already been half an hour. Nice. But yeah, I'm actually very excited for the live stream later today. I don't think anybody's gonna be watching. I'm honestly It's gonna be called something like practicing live, and then in brackets, tell me what to draw, right? That's gonna be my live streaming series from, I guess, now on and forever, for the next 10, 20, 30 years, however long, 40, 50, 60, 70, maybe, however long YouTube's around for. So yeah, I mean, try to keep it simple. You guys will tell me what to draw, and I'll most likely fail, but it'd be good. I think this is a good way to interact with the audience, right? In the sense that if you people, and I said you people, yes, I'll say it again, if you people have any ideas on what I can draw, I will draw it, right? Should be fun. But I'm glad that my audience has actually been trained on the fact that I can't draw, right? Like you pieces of shits are very clear on the idea that you know that I'm not that skilled, right? It makes it a lot easier to draw because then I can just focus on failing, you know? That's actually my master plan, right? Is this keep telling my audience and train them into thinking that I'm shit. So when I do inevitably draw very shit, it won't be like a, oh my god, what the fuck's going on type situation. It'll just be like, oh yeah, he's always drawing like this, you know? And that way it'll work out in and of itself. It's actually it's great. I don't have to put any effort into explaining why I'm bad at drawing, right? It's more so just about yeah, just doing what I do, but live. And hopefully my phone battery holds out. I'm gonna charge it to 100 before I start. So yeah, I think it should be good. But yeah, I'm just practicing this shape, because then practice this, then practice the wheel attachment. I'm honestly just gonna continue this. Technically, like whatever this crazy scooters, whatever, I will be practicing this consistently over on the live stream until somebody tells me what to draw, right? Then I'll stop and do that. But it's a good way. I can just keep practicing my fundamentals. You know, maybe quote unquote you audience who watch my series will lose out on like 20, 30 minutes. But hey, I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be just called practicing live, and then brackets tell me what to draw. And it's not gonna have a part. It's gonna be just say that, because part one doesn't say part one in all my videos. If you know, like anything I start, it's just what it is, and then part two says part two. So yeah, here's a heads up for anybody watching or listening and is curious about seeing how I continued on my practice and if I made any breakthroughs. So yeah, but let me do the shape again. This is really fun. Okay, so something like that. Right, that's the plane. It's going up like this, so I can bring it, curve it like so, and then it's straight. Right, this essentially is straight. Straight as well, curved, and I think I can keep this going like that way. Okay, cool. And then what? That's my box. Well, let's see. It needs to go this way. Then it's like this? No. Which way is it going? This is my plane that I've tried to establish. This is the box I'm thinking about, right? So which way is it going if we have something like essentially like this? Oh, it's coming out this way. Okay. It's coming out that way. Okay, I see. Right, and then we have, again, this box. Then it's just coming out like this, I think. That doesn't seem right to me. I don't think this is right. I think I lost it. That's completely incorrect. That's okay. So this angle is definitely something I have to work on, and I will continue to work on it because I think I got the top one, not perfectly, but it's not bad, right? Where's the previous one that I just did right now? Over there, right? So I'm starting to understand this shape better because again, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is we're trying to add a wheel, right? A wheel that's essentially following this perspective, right? and going around. Like that's what we're adding, right? This is covering that. No? That's what it's covering. And then there's like the center thing here. Like so. And then it's the pipe that connects to the body, right? So, actually, more than anything... Oh, okay. I figured some things out, actually, now. There's some more nuance to this shape than I initially realized. Yeah, because it needs to give space. You see how over here, there's no space between this pipe that's supposed to be connecting? Wait, what's over here? Fuck. It all looks the same to me. It's not racism, it's race realism. But yes, yeah, there's not enough space. Yeah, spatially speaking, it doesn't make any sense. So I think the nuance to the shape is the fact that maybe it's not really as curved as I thought it was. Maybe it's something like this, right? And then, or maybe is it like this? Is like a curve here, but then this juts out much further, right? Yeah, there you go. That juts out much further, and this juts out much further, right? And then this comes down, like so, right? We still have this, yeah, but I guess like that. It's still like that, and then maybe we can keep this flat as it was. I don't know what's going on here. Gotta figure that out. But is this page used? Well, it's already been 41 minutes, so maybe I should just call this page used, right? It is essentially all wrung out, you know? It's like a 2-bit whore, but with lines rather than semen. So let me do one more, and maybe think about the new way of doing this, right? So it's just, I think it's just a bit more, I believe, right? Then we can keep that consistent like so, right? And this actually should be angled like so, so that way. And this should be straight, actually. This is not curved, this is straight. So that's why something like that can happen, I believe, right? Okay, so it should be covering a bit more. And then, yeah, this is coming out more. Again, keeping the box in mind. Same thing. And then we're just bringing this down, right? In the reference, it's a bit more angled, but we already have a lot of different angles going on, so there's no need to complicate it more than we already have, right? And this way, when the wheel is coming through this specific middle section, there's going to be a lot of space, hopefully, right? Hopefully there's going to be definitely much more space, because the middle thing's here, the pipe is technically attached at the bottom here. But I guess for the simplicity's sake, we can have the pipe right around here. Right, coming through the middle here. We'll see. I'll practice giving it more space. Actually, the wheel's supposed to be much larger. Funny enough. Okay, the wheel's supposed to be much larger than what I made here. So let me rest my brain, and then I'm gonna get my new. I'm going to get my new page. I hope my mic doesn't die. That's good for now. But yeah, I'm gonna have to charge it before the live stream, anyways. But yeah, let me rest my brain. I don't know why, but my left eyebrow just started twitching a fuck ton, spazzing out. My mom always says random superstitions like, oh, that's really good luck if it's the left one, and if it's the right one, apparently I'm gonna die or some shit. So it's hard to know what to believe. But I'd like to believe that it's just twitching, and that's it, nothing more than that. Perhaps it's an electrolyte imbalance. I do think that runs in my family. But, okay, it's We have 15 minutes. Cool. And I have to practice for piano because it's at 4 and it's 3 right now. Nice. All right. Good. All right. Let's do this. I'm gonna put the reference away, and it's time to start drawing from imagination. As I have, like, technically that's what I do all the time, as much as possible. But okay, let's do this again. So that's my plane. I'm gonna do just a slight curve like so, right? Just a slight curve. And then that's gonna jet out a lot more than it initially was doing, right? Basically, I gotta imagine the box. It's always about the fucking box, isn't it? It's always about the box. It's never not about the box, that's for sure. That's something Master Kim always stressed, is that it's all about the box, right? So don't listen to me, listen to the greatest of all time, right? If you want to draw good, put it in a box. I believe he said it exactly like that. Okay, and then this can be a bit more out, right? And then this is just coming down. Something like that. Same thing here. The biggest thing is obviously I just want to keep doing my best to imagine the box, right? Because, and again, like, we all have a specific perspective that's the easiest for us. Not that I ever want it to be easy, but when you're practicing something, I think it's beneficial to start from the easiest point, right? Something that you understand. So that's the covering, I think. Right? That's the bike covering. I think I fucked some things up. Like this. This looks really awkward. And that doesn't look too right either. Yeah, that's way too angled compared to this. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna draw another one here. Maybe we can do it from underneath. So again, I gotta imagine the box. It's in the middle. The thing is, like, technically, because I'm cutting upwards, I should imagine it in the middle. Right? Okay. And then again, it cuts like so. And then we have something like this as well, right? And that's jutting out a little, so we have something like that, perhaps, right? That's the box I'm thinking of. And then there you go, something like this, perhaps. It's angling. I don't know if I'll have to double check whether the perspective in this makes sense, but I would like to believe it's not too bad, right? No, it is really bad. This angle I struggle with a lot, goddamn. So I'm gonna put it in a box, like an actual box that I'll draw after this, because I'm clearly messing it up a decent amount. Because yeah, it should be something like this. Yeah, I definitely fucked it up pretty decently. Okay, that's incorrect. So let me draw it again. Just gotta keep focusing on trying to use my brain as much as possible. And again, like, I'm happy. I'm making a lot of mistakes, right? Mistakes is how we get better. So let's do a similar type of box. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm gonna stick to this till I get this down. I'm not in a rush. I want to actually genuinely get crazy scooters down, and that's the main thing. Actually, instead of maybe my live streams being "Tell me what to draw" as the title, maybe I should just continue practicing what I always practice, but with people watching, right? I don't fucking know. I'll have people start telling me what to draw maybe when I'm good enough. Yeah, maybe this could literally just be practicing live crazy scooters. Yeah, in brackets crazy scooters, and then if I'm practicing something else, fucking I don't know, months from now, like the part system will be the same. Yeah, live drawing? I don't fucking know. I'm gonna come up with the with the title. I gotta do the thumbnail and shit after this drawing anyways. But let's go. Let's do it. So this is something like this, right? Something like that, and then this is cutting across. I've already fucking gone out of it, but it's a good way to keep me in check, I guess. Should actually be more like that. So gotta think really hard about this other section, because that doesn't really make any sense. What the fuck? Fuck something up, didn't I? Okay, if it was like that, then even then, it's just like that? That doesn't make any fucking sense. That makes zero sense. I gotta try that again, but without the box. Maybe the box is fucking me up. Okay. Something like that. That's the box. Right. Something like that. Okay, and then this is coming out a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Wouldn't it be like this? And then this is... Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. There you go. There you go. Fucking Jesus. There you go. Yeah, I wasn't following the perspective properly. I wasn't accounting for it. Right? It's... If I have something like this, right? And it's going... It has to cut across in the middle. And then it's coming inwards that way. So if I have something like that, it's coming in that way. Same thing. There you go. What I was basically trying to explain, because it probably didn't make any sense when I'm saying this, that, is I wasn't accounting for the full width of the box, right? I was essentially creating, if this is the box, right, whatever, not technically an accurate box, but this is the box, and I'm creating something that's going like this across it, right? What I was doing is I was just putting another line that followed it. That doesn't really make any sense if we have something that's jutting out, right? Because it looks awkward. Fuck, did I draw that right? Oh shit, I can't even do it wrong anymore. I was basically making the top length and the bottom length the same, instead of accounting for the fact that this curve on the right is angling outward, right? It's not, like if this is the angle, it's not going like this. It's following that, but it's going outward, but still aligned with that, if that makes sense, right? So it's still aligned with it, it's just going outward. So that was my mistake, was not realizing that the same thing is happening on the other end, and instead I just made it the same width. So obviously it's too narrow, and then the other side that also has something coming out is something much longer, right? Hopefully that makes sense. It made sense to me. it made sense to me, right? One day I'll actually learn how to teach, but not today or tomorrow, or probably 5, 10, 15 years from now, right? This is the trials and tribulations of a dipshit who can't explain, but he can do. And I can definitely do, I tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. Now I need to do the wheel in relation to this, Because honestly, the wheel is probably the best place to start from, and that it will also reinforce my spatial reasoning, right? So what is the what the fuck? What is the what the fuck? Okay, 5 minutes left. I'll draw for 10 more minutes. But 10 more minutes. But what is the relation of the size if this is the wheel covering, right? Which is, I guess it'll be like this tall. What the fuck happened to this pen? Oh, what the why? I'm using the gray pen. I'm wondering why it's not red. Wonderful, genius, Viggy, genius. But if this is the size of this thing here, right? So it's like, we're doing something like it's like this, then like that, then like that. Right? This is the size, whatever. We curve, whatever. Right? This is the size, and then it comes down, blah blah blah, whatever. Right? This is the thing. If that's, I guess, a unit of 1, the wheel is double that, but it starts here. It starts around here. So the wheel is double it. So 1, 2, but 1, 2. It's essentially something like this. Right? Something like that. Fucking horrible wheel. And then we have this, and that way, that's actually perfect. That way, we have this. And it's not interfering. There you go. Okay. So now what I need to do is practice drawing this smaller and then accommodating for the wheel, which is the most important thing. Right? And I guess from the front, I should figure out, this thinking out loud really, really helps here. I guess from the front, I should figure out if this is the width, right? And then it kind of juts out like that. The wheel, although I can't tell from the reference, it's likely the wheel is roughly this thick, right? Like this thick. Right? Like that's the wheel. It's roughly this thick. So let's say it's like 2/3 the width of the covering, which makes sense because the covering is covering it, right? It can't be wider than it, so that makes sense. So now with the basically 3 minutes remaining, but I'll draw for like 5 more minutes. Let's draw the wheel. Let's at least do 1, right? I think doing 1 is going to be beneficial. So I'll do it simply for now, and then I'll rotate it a bunch or whatever, right? Afterwards. And I'll once I can get this down, I'll start attaching everything together again, and then just keep reinforcing that. I want to keep reinforcing this this crazy scooter mannequin. What the fuck? It's not a crazy. It's the scooter. I want to keep reinforcing this scooter mannequin, right? So this is gonna really upgrade my understanding and attachment and visualization of things, and it'll also again make me think more. Right? At the end of the day, I just want to keep thinking as much as I can. It's the main goal, after all, is to keep thinking, right? Something like this. There you go. That's a bit better. I would like to believe. Yeah, that's okay. It's still not amazing, but it's okay. And now we have, again, this is a bit too big perhaps, and I didn't think about it as well as I could have. Maybe this was just going to be a straight line, but then we have something like this. So if I just keep following the perspective, and then it comes down like so. Right. I made this way bigger than I intended to, and I should have, to be honest. But, you live, you learn, and you kill yourself afterwards, because you've done enough learning for a lifetime. But there you go. That's the wheel covering. Now, the wheel is twice this, right? So starts like here. So the wheel's like roughly this big. So that's a big ass fucking circle. Right. I actually have not the experience of drawing such a big circle, but there's a first time for everything. Right. Truly, first time for everything. See, I can't draw as big. And that's normal. This is coming around. You see exactly where I want it to. Like so. Right? Not perfect. Probably definitely need to add more of a curve back here. And then there you go. And then right around here will be the pipe attachment, which will roughly be like this. But I'm obviously going to draw this much smaller, which is why I need to get the habit of drawing this a lot smaller. Right, and that's the wheel. There you go. That's the wheel attachment. Looks really shit, and that's amazing, because what is it? What is that South Park quote? Being kind of shit at something is the first step to being kind of not shit at something. Something like that. Well, that's my Viggy original right there. You want to be not bad? Just don't be not bad. Be good instead. Be not bad. So there you go. And yeah, good session as always, right? I always come up with really clever things I want to say during these videos, and then when I actually start recording, I'm too focused on the drawing and just being a fucking a very honed in, you know, very, what's the word? Focused. Yes, being focused. Yo, focus needs more focus. But with that being said, I guess I'm done, right? Yeah, I'm done. I can like, subscribe, all that shit, right? And I cannot wait to live stream later today. It's gonna be fun. I'm probably gonna get no viewers. Maybe my girlfriend will hop on. I did tell her about it, right? So maybe she'll just gambate, you know, encourage me, all that shit. But with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money. Thank you.